So I was just having a quick conversation with a colleague about Padlet and talking about some of the additional features that you may or may not have explored. Padlet has been around for a really long time, but it's been very clever in continuing to evolve. So again, just taking you through a Padlet creation process. So you've got several different wallpapers you can choose from. I'm just going to keep it basic for the time being and keep it with cloud. I can change the title, test, give it a description here if I'd like to. I'm going to leave that alone. I can change the color and the font of my Padlet. That's kind of a little bit of a recent update to it. There are several different font styles to choose from. I can choose a little symbol if I would like to. I can display the author name above each post. So again, this depends on you and depends on the class activity. So maybe you're asking for students to put their ideas out there on the Padlet, which as a reminder, the great thing about Padlet and our portfolios in the high school is you can embed a Padlet by getting the code from the Padlet and putting it into your portfolio. So I'll come back to that later on. New post position, decide if you want the newest ones to come first or last. The profanity filter is there if you would like, so you can allow viewers to comment on posts. But the feature that I reference, the idea of being able to upvote, is here in reactions. So if you've not turned reactions on, your students won't be able to do that. So that's kind of an important one. You can only choose one type of reaction. So either they can heart it or they can like it, or they can upvote or downvote posts. So this might be great if you're just trying to generate some ideas and gain consensus. Students can give posts 1 to 5 stars, or you could give it a numeric score. So there's the upvote or downvote post. I would click next. I would decide whether or not I wanted to be private, password protected, secret, or public. And then I have some access options here. So those with access can either just read, they can write, they can moderate, they could administer. So can write is typically what you would be using with your students because you want them to be able to view and add posts, but not necessarily edit or approve other posts. Depending on the class size and depending on the tone, you can also turn on moderation or leave it off. So what moderation does is it basically means that before that post that the student has added to your Padlet will actually be public and viewable, that you need to approve it first. But again, if it's about speed and accessibility, I usually leave that off. Okay, so I click next. And it's all set. So start posting. So again, I've chosen the other thing with Padlet that's really great is you have a few different layouts to use. So I really like this layout. It allows for you to have separate columns. So response to idea 1, save, collaborative task, save from the reading. So in this example that I'm showing you right now, I would have 3 different columns, and maybe I'm looking for 3 different types of responses from students in my class, and they know which column to add it to. So just showing you right now, if I'm a student and I go to add to the Padlet, I can give it a title. I can just write something in here. I could hyperlink to a resource. So if I came across a link to a video or an article that I wanted to share, I use the link. I could upload something from my computer. So this is really nice if students are creating short snippets of video, or if they've taken handwritten notes, they can snap a picture of that, include it there, which is really nice. And then I have some even more options over here. So I could snap directly from the camera or the video on my actual device. I could decide to record my audio. I could make a little doodle. And again, if you haven't used Padlet in a while, these are all additional options that are somewhat recent, and that's why people get really excited about Padlet. Remember that I mentioned Padlet embeds really nicely into our WordPress portfolios, and I quickly want to show you how to do that. So again, all of the settings, if I wanted to go back in and change anything, that's always the gear. If I want to share, again, I could always change the privacy down here, so that's a key reminder. But we want to go to share and then share, export, embed. So I could give someone the QR code, I could give them the link, but we want embed in your blog or website. So when I click that, it's going to give me all of this HTML text. I just hit copy and I go over to my portfolio. I've already started a new post here. Now the key thing is right now the tab visual is open. I want to click on text. We paste in the code that I've just copied. So the code is there. It doesn't look like anything yet, but that's because I'm still in the text tab. When I click visual, now I can see the Padlet is there. So again, the tools kind of work very nicely together. That's a really quick overview to some of the features in Padlet you may not be familiar with. Of course, if you've got additional Padlet questions, please leave them as a comment on this post, and we look forward to helping you out.